Oh my God, my mic was muted. Good everyone, and welcome back to North London Narratives. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about Tottenham Hotspur. Um, I was watching a series because today I was meant to take a day off because I've had a lot going on in my life of late, and I've been very exhausted. And let's just say that the club's performances haven't exactly made me feel better. And it's been very difficult talking to people about it because I feel like a lot of people do not really understand. Because I found myself talking to a friend of mine who is a City fan, and he didn't really understand the problem with the club, and I was trying to explain to him, and I just found myself getting angry because obviously Tottenham is something I really care about and is a major part of my life. And it just pissed me off to be trying to explain something I understand so well. And I know how this works with Daniel Levy, and you're telling me that's not the problem. If you get what I mean. Sorry, somebody's telling me. Yes, right. So yeah, basically, like it just pissed me off, and I was. It just pissed me off, and it has been very. I don't know the word. I had to stop talking to him because I realized I do understand that this is a very emotional period for a lot of Spurs fans. And because of that, a lot of us can easily get triggered, basically. And I did not want to put myself in a situation where I'm taking out my anger from my football club on my friend, and then I end up ruining my friendship, which is why of late I've been dropping a lot of videos because I feel like, at least on YouTube, I can speak on how I feel. And if anything, I think is even more important right now for a lot of sports fans to come together and speak to each other, because what's going on right now at this club is absolutely awful. And I'm at a point where honestly I'm starting to feel a bit numb to it and not really expect much anymore. Um so that's one of the reasons why I feel like it's actually very, 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 very important for me to do this live. Um so I started this live because I just wanted to, like I said, get my thoughts out. And I just want to start by talking on Daniel Levy because when we moved into the stadium, we were told that the stadium would help us compete against the biggest clubs and so on and so forth. And we're lied to. And I don't know how, like, we have, how we got here, because I remember watching, and you guys can go and watch it, a YouTube video on the business of sport, when where one of the board members at Tottenham Hotspur came out and he was talking on the video, and he kept on using the word entertainment. He said words like, or statements like, hopefully win a trophy, profit. And I know it was a video on the business of sport, but I just found it very exciting or intriguing how normally the board do not come out to speak, or they felt comfortable enough coming out to speak on a business of sport podcast. And the way the guy was talking about the experience of going to the stadium, the experience of the stadium, how parts of um White Hart Lane is in the stadium and is about creating an experience, a nostalgic feeling, and it just puts a lot into perspective about how this board view this football club. Like it really does put a lot into perspective. And and so back to the stadium, and this stadium was meant to help us compete. We're told that um when we get to the stadium, we'll be able to compete against the biggest clubs. And I just want to take a look at signings since 2019. I'm currently using ChatGPT. Um, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, so I know it's not exactly up to date, but where is it? Yeah, okay. So under Daniel Levy, let's check for Tottenham Hotspur signings under Daniel Levy since 2019. That's when we moved to the stadium, and we signed the likes of Tanguy Ndombele, who was arguably our quote unquote biggest signing. We signed Lo Celso, we signed Sessegnon, Jack Clark, Hoybier, Doherty, Reguilon, Carlos Vinicius, Romero, Royal. And what's funny is all these players, I feel like, were players that were all attainable at um, White Hart Lane. Like we've seen clubs like Bournemouth, we've seen clubs like Kim Min Song where Kim Min Song has not gone anywhere. ChatGPT, you dirty liar. But anyways, um, we've seen players like Bournemouth, we've seen players like clubs like Bournemouth, clubs like Villa, now Nottingham Forest compete at the highest level and have been able to do all this without any stadium with concerts, go-karts, hotels, and it just makes you like know how much you shouldn't trust people and how like people tend to use people who trust them and just lie to them because you can't do anything about it. So it's like I can lie to you and get away with it. And that's exactly what Levy is, a liar. And it does break my heart to be honest. And to make it embarrassing, today is February 1st. He's been, I think we currently have 10 injuries, and we've only brought in one signing, who's a goalkeeper. We have players like Otto Bear out, Sholanke out. We have players like Madison currently out, Romero, but then just came back, Udogi's out, Vicari's out, Fana is out, no, Richarlison is back. A lot of players are out. And Jed Spence, a lot of players really. Now Dragishin, and we still haven't been able to sign anybody. And as much as like the players like Tel and Tomori rejecting us is down to our position, I think it also puts into perspective how horrible a job Daniel Levy has actually done and how like unattractive we really are. Because in my opinion, Tottenham Hotspur is no longer an attractive club. Like I understand that I'm a fan, but I have to call a spade a spade. And if I was a player who was serious about his career and wasn't coming from the championship or from Sweden, I don't think I'll be coming to Tottenham Hotspur if I'm being honest. Even Van de Ven, who came to Tottenham, had just played one season in Bundesliga and he's still young, probably looked at it as a stepping stone move. And we're just very unattractive because in how many years under this ownership, we've not won anything. I'm seeing Tottenham fans sinking, we've got our Tottenham back after 10 games. Daniel Levy coming out, doing the fan forum, saying we've got our Tottenham back, using boys' phrases like, oh, Angie's just a breath of fresh air. And the fans are buying into it. Fans were losing 5-1 to Liverpool at home and they're singing Angie's name. We're losing 4-1 to Chelsea and they're singing Angie's name. And it's just unfathomable to me, if I'm being honest, because I can't imagine any club that would do that except from Tottenham. And as much as everybody wants to blame Levy, everybody wants to blame Ange, I feel like to a certain degree, the fans also have to take blame for this because at the end of the day, fans are the owners of the club. And before Levy was, the fans were. Before Ange was, the fans were. And after Ange and Levy, the fans will be. And as a fan, especially one that goes to the games, lives in the UK, can go to the stadium, can go to protest, or goes to the stadium, I think you have an obligation to this club. And I don't exactly think singing Angie's name when we're 5-1 down is a display of your loyalty to this football club. If anything, I think is a display of your loyalty to the manager. Because if you did have respect for this football club, you would not accept us being 5-1 down at home. Talk less of chanting and singing for the manager when we're 5-1 down at home. And as you can tell, I'm probably fuming. And if I bruised your ego, I hope I did because that was the intention. Because I don't mind bruising someone's ego if it means that you get to realize that what you've done is wrong. And I want the best for my football club. And I love my club. And I started this channel because I wanted to support my club in how I could from my country. And I think that everybody else should try to do that. And I don't exactly think having this ownership for over 20 years and winning one trophy and the fans being so lax about it is good enough. I don't think singing the manager's name when we're 4-1 down at Chelsea, when we're 5-1 down against Chelsea, sorry, when we're 5-1 down against Liverpool at home is you being a true fan, in my opinion. And so, as much as everybody wants to blame Levy, as much as everybody wants to blame Ange for this position we're in, I think, if anything, because of the importance of the fans to this club, more than Levy, the fans deserve to be blamed more than anybody else because this is your club and this thing that you're seeing now, this thing that you people are seeing now that you're chanting and you feel disgusted by, this thing that you're watching every week, that you're disgusted by, you enabled it. You absolutely enabled this happening, and somebody has to tell you guys the truth. Somebody has to tell you guys the truth, because a lot of fans last season, I remember, and I deleted my channel, and I remember a lot of fans last season. We signed likes of Achigre, we signed likes of Odobe, and a lot of people were justifying us getting the likes of Odobe over Eze, and it made no sense to me. And now everybody's seeing the repercussion of what's going on, and people are saying, "Oh, the signings weren't good enough. They didn't back Ange." But last summer, when people saw those signings, people weren't saying that. If anything, the fans were very happy with the great signing. And it's not like I had a problem with great signing, but I had a problem with the window, because all the problems that we entered the window with, except from Sholanke, all the problems we entered the window with, we came out of that window with all the exact same problems, except from a number 9. That was the only difference. And a lot of people, a lot of the fans were there praising it. I remember they were praising it, and they were saying it was such a good window. We're building for the future. Great, such a good player. A lot of people telling me how he was bossing it in the championship. He played well against Chelsea and this and that. And now all of a sudden, all the fans are saying leave it out. All the fans are saying the summer wasn't good enough. They didn't back Ange. But that's hypocritical, because I'm going to call everybody out. I'm going to call out the board. I'm going to call out Ange. I'm also going to call out the fans, because as a fan, you let it happen. You accepted it. You said it was good enough for you. And you are part of the reason why we're in the position we're in right now. Whether or not you want to accept it, we are all part of it. Because now you see that, oh, if I remember vividly, I remember during the Conte period, the reason why they got in Conte was because the whole stadium got toxic. Everybody was shouting for Levy out. And then they sacked Nuno and they went to get Conte. Before we tried to get Conte, they didn't want to meet his demands. When the whole stadium got toxic, to shut up the fans, they got Conte. So with the power that you have as a fan, I can't, like, I get Levy is at fault for certain things, but we the fans are at fault more than anybody else for enabling all this to happen. Because like I said, before Levy was, we were, before Ange was, we were, and after these guys are gone, we will be. And we're responsible for this club. And the fact that we've, like, Tottenham Hotspur currently, and that's even what made me come to start this live video. I was watching a series. I saw Everton at 1-4. I checked the league table, and Tottenham Hotspur 16th, and we play Brentford tomorrow. And I just couldn't, I just couldn't stay silent anymore. I just needed to let it all out. So a lot of people, all the people that were saying, "Oh, Archie Gray is good enough," bad for Otterbear, and justifying the signings, Timo Werner. I remember Alistair Gold. Alistair Gold, he was posting stats on his Twitter, dribbling stats, trying to justify the Werner signing, and he there come out now. He dares to come out now and talk about how the club haven't done enough. When you accepted this, you accepted it. When it was happening, you didn't say anything about it. You justified it. And the fans now come out now and say, "Oh, it's Levy." Don't blame Levy, because you allowed him to do this to us. You, every single one of you allowed him to do this to us. Every single one of you. Every single one of you allowed him to do this to us. Every single one of you. So you don't come here and blame everything on him. Like now, it's like being in a marriage. And in this scenario, we, the fans, are the husband. The wife, the wife is Levy. Or let's say stepmom is Levy. And our child is Ange. And you're saying, "Oh, your wife, Levy, is maltreating your child." You enabled it as a father. You enabled it because it's happening in your house. It's happening in our club. We enabled it. Without us enabling such a behavior, something like that wouldn't be happening. It wouldn't be happening. So don't, like, I'm not saying that Levy is not to blame for certain things. I'm not saying that Lange is not to blame. I'm not saying that Ange isn't to blame. But fans also have to take responsibility, and everyone, including everyone at the club, everyone outside the club, needs to take a deep, hard look at themselves. Like, genuinely speaking, everybody needs to take a look at themselves and really question some of the decisions, because I've seen a lot of people, a lot of the signings we made. I showed, let me open it again. A lot of the signings we made, I've seen a lot of people justify these signings. I remember Young, a lot of people were talking about he is a young talent from Fulham, this, that. Oh, Young. Ndombele, very talented, bad attitude. Okay. The club didn't do their job well on that one. Jack Clark, I remember a lot of people hyping him. I remember my daughter. I remember Vinicius. I remember when he scored a hat trick against Marine. Everybody was hyping him. Emerson Royale, I remember as well. Brian Hill, I remember a lot of these players. I remember. So everybody should not act like, oh, it's just Levy. I remember a lot of the signings. A lot of people were hyping them the same way they did with likes of Odobert, the same way they did with likes of Achigray. So as much as Levy has to take blame, we have to take blame as well. We do. Oh, I'm even tired of talking about that, brother. Let's even talk about the club now. So now, like I said earlier, this club has been very unattractive for a while. Like a lot of people, and Daniel Levy put us in this position, by the way, and the fans as well put us in this position by accepting Daniel Levy doing his nuisance. But anyways, we've seen this is not the first time that we're being rejected. I feel like this time around is just more public, because even before anything else, I remember when we tried to get the manager after or before getting Nuno, and were rejected all around by everybody. Nobody wanted to touch Tottenham Hotspur with the 200 feet pole. Nobody. And that's why we had to get Nuno in. And even to get Conte, we had to splash the cash and give him astronomical wages to get him in. So this whole Tottenham Hotspur being unattractive is not a today thing. This is something that we have seen for quite some time now. This is something that has been there on a low for quite some time now, but it's just now that the media finally has Daniel Levy's time. It's just now that the media has decided to frame and present Daniel Levy's matter on the table for everybody to talk about. But this has been long coming. I even remember the January when we got Kulusevski and Bentancur. I remember we got rejected by Luis Diaz because we're negotiating with Luis Diaz, and all of a sudden, I think they said his agent told Liverpool, because they knew Liverpool wanted to sign him later in the summer, and his agent told Liverpool that, bro, we need to get or Tottenham Hotspur want to sign Luis Diaz, and then Luis Diaz ends up going to Liverpool. So I remember, so this whole us being like rejected isn't something that started now. It isn't something that started now. And I genuinely don't even know what to say. I just think that right now, this club is absolutely smelling, because the person, do you know, when I knew how smelling Tottenham Hotspur were, when I knew how smelly we were, was when I saw this quote from Ian Wright, an Arsenal fan, an Arsenal player. He came out and he said, right on Spurs and Daniel Levy, they should have been winning things because of the owner. They haven't won anything with him, have they? With Levy at the helm. Tottenham used to win trophies, used to win FA Cups, used to win stuff. It's him. He's the one. They've got to get him out and get an owner who wants to win something with these fans. The stadium is always full. They need to change. The only thing missing from that place is trophies. And this is an Arsenal fan speaking. And I'll still find Tottenham Hotspur fans defending this man and talking about how, like, oh, he has brought us so far, he has done this, he has done that. People need to realize that everything Daniel Levy has done hasn't been for Tottenham. Everything Daniel Levy has done has been to benefit himself and to make money for himself. Now, if that benefits Tottenham in a way, and they are able to, or if they're able to present it in a way that it benefits Tottenham, then good. But I don't think that there's anything that this guy has ever done genuinely to benefit Tottenham Hotspur. And I remember even in their, and this thing is very funny because even in their first statement when they came to this club, I collected this from Stel. So they said the strategy was to build an international sports and entertainment group to profit from the media's interest. That was a statement from their when they came to the club. So if I'm being honest, these guys haven't even lied to us. There's nothing that they've told us or they've done today that anybody's like, oh, we didn't know about it. They had said it since day one. They're not even lying. They had told us, and you refuse to believe them. It's like somebody, like you're talking to somebody, and this person is telling you, bro, I don't want a relationship. And you're saying, no, I want to be with you. I want to be with you. And this person is telling you, bro, I don't want a relationship. I don't want to be with anybody. And you refuse to believe them. This person never lied to you if they end up breaking your heart, because they genuinely did tell you that they didn't want this. Like this guy told us that we're here to entertain, and which is why, like I said, in the business of sport video, you see them use the word entertainment a lot, a whole lot. They're using the word entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. And that's what we are now under this guy's an entertainment group, and it's absolutely insane what they've done to this club. Honestly, it's insane what they've done to this club. The only thing that I can say that has been the shining light at Tottenham, and let me show you guys. Um, the only thing that I can say has been the shining light to me, this whole period with the Ange stuff, with everything that's going on, has been our little boy, um, Mikey Moore. That has been the only shining light at Tottenham Hotspur. Honestly speaking, let me check for it. This boy, and I feel like he's going a bit under the radar because of everything that's happening at Tottenham. I feel like he's going under the radar because of everything that's happening at Tottenham. Mikey Moore has played well recently. He has actually played well for Tottenham a lot of the time when he has played. But up until now, he hadn't exactly reaped the fruit of his labor. And I feel like a lot of people are not talking about Mikey because of the whole narrative about the relegation and this. Now, I'm not saying that this guy is like Lamin Yamal or whatever, but it's nice to see that he's starting to rack up goal contributions. And that does excite me because, I mean, that was the only thing that I came into this season looking forward to. That was the kids. Honestly, I came into this season with no expectations because of the horrific transfer window we had. And I came in just looking forward to the likes of Mikey, the likes of Bava, Gray doing well. And I can say to a certain extent, I've had the privilege to enjoy that. So yeah, let's look at Mikey. So in his last 4 games, he has put up 4 games. Yeah, one, two, three, four. Yeah, one, two, three, four. Yeah, in his last 4 games, he has had at least one goal contribution. No, he has had 3 goal contributions in the last 4 games. Sorry, against Everton, I know he assisted Richarlison's goal. Yep. Against Hoffenheim, I think he also got an assist for Son. Yep. Against Leicester, he didn't get anything. Came on, but he didn't get anything. And against Elfsborg, he scored. And I think it's nice to see like players like Gray as centre back, although I want to see him at CDM, which is his actual position. I want to see how he's in midfield. I think he loses the ball quite a lot, misplaced passes, but I would like to see him on midfield. But I think the likes of Balvo, they've done well. I think the likes of Mikey is growing. He obviously is still quite weak physically, but he is growing quite well and he is still developing in that sense, basically. So I'm excited about the prospect of that. So yeah, I just feel like he has gone under the radar. And one thing I want to talk about Mikey is his desire to score a goal. Because I noticed that when we, I think Ajayi scored and Scarlett had scored, and I feel like at that point in time, I know he's a kid. I know. But at that point in time, I don't know if I was the only one thinking this, but I feel like everybody probably wanted Mikey to score. And at that point in time, I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, I know Mikey has gotten like what 2 assists before this game, but then a lot of people out of the academy and everybody in the academy, the person that they were talking about was Mikey Moore. And now we've seen Ajayi score, we've seen Dean Scarlett score, and Mikey is still yet to get his first goal for the club. And I was thinking to myself, okay, this boy needs to get a goal. And by God's blessing, he did get his goal. And I was very excited, actually. It was honestly one of the few moments where I've actually had something to smile about concerning Tottenham, and it did feel good, to be honest, to have something to laugh about and to just basically feel good about, basically. So yeah, and the last time, like, because you saw how desperate he was to get the goal and he started trying, and the last time I saw that, and now I'm not saying he will be any hurricane or whatever, but the last time I saw that desire, that hunger in a player, that all your teammates have scored or your team is winning, but you haven't scored and you want to get that goal. Last time I saw that was, I mean, I've seen it a couple times from Sonny, but last player that I really saw that was like that was Hurricane. And Hurricane had this thing where even if team was doing well, even if everybody had scored, he wanted to get his own. And he just, like, I saw that from Mikey in that game, that competitiveness, like, okay, Ajayi has done it, Scarlett has done it. It's my turn now to get mine, and I must not leave this match without getting my goal. And like I said, by God's grace, he did get his goal at the end. So it was nice to see that bit of competitive edge to him. But yeah, basically, I kept Mikey for last to sort of end it on a good note because I feel like everybody right now is sort of really going through it emotionally, and this club isn't exactly giving us too much joy, basically. And I just wanted to let it all out of my system because honestly, I feel like this last few days, this YouTube thing has been very therapeutic for me, especially because I'm the only one in my house who watches football. And you won't find too many Tottenham fans in my country. So it's been very therapeutic, and it's been nice having conversations with people, even people who disagree with me. I have no problem with it. And we can debate about it, and it's fine. It's all love. Like, you get what I'm saying? But it's been very nice to just get it out, if you get what I mean. Like, let it out of my system instead of just being sad about it all the time. So yeah, I just wanted to vent, sort of, and go on a tangent how our club is gone and everybody contributed to it, the fans, the owner, the manager, and I honestly don't know if we'll get relegated. I hope not. But I just want to know that I'm doing my part and everybody did their part in trying to help the club in one way or another. Like, it's one thing for, let's say, hypothetically speaking, Tottenham Hotspur go down. It's one thing for us to go down and fans feel like, yeah, I gave my everything to correct what was wrong at this club. I fought to get this ownership out who have turned our football club into an entertainment business. And it's another thing for Tottenham Hotspur to go down and people knowing that they didn't really do enough. They didn't do the things that they could to help the club. And I don't know, I just wanted to play my part instead of having conversations with myself on my bed. Just come here and vent, basically. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. If you like what you heard, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on Not on the Narratives. Have a healthy day, sports fans. Take care, guys. Bye bye.